If you're searching for a dish that brings together comfort, elegance, and a burst of flavor, few things can rival the charm of a homemade chicken and mushroom tart. This recipe blends the savory goodness of tender chicken, the earthy depth of mushrooms, and the buttery crispness of pastry into one delightful bite. Whether you're preparing for a brunch, a light lunch, or a show-stopping appetizer for guests, a chicken mushroom tart is a versatile addition to your culinary repertoire. Let's embark on a journey through its creation, step by step, discovering not only how to make this tart, but also the nuances that turn it from a simple meal into a memorable experience. Start by gathering your ingredients. For the crust, you'll need about 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, a pinch of salt, and a stick of cold, unsalted butter cut into cubes. For richness and a bit of tang, a few tablespoons of cold water, and optionally, a splash of vinegar or a spoonful of sour cream can be added. While you can opt for a ready-made pie crust in a pinch, crafting your own pastry is part of the pleasure. And the difference is evident in every flaky bite. Moving to the filling, select about 2 cups of cooked chicken. Roasted, poached, or even the leftovers from a rotisserie chicken all work beautifully. Shred or dice the chicken into bite-sized pieces for an even distribution throughout the tart. For the mushrooms, a mix is best. Cremini for umami, button mushrooms for their mildness, and a handful of shiitake or wild mushrooms if you're feeling adventurous. Aim for about 2 cups, cleaned and sliced. Onions and garlic form the aromatic base. 1 medium onion, finely chopped, and 2 to 3 cloves of garlic, minced, will suffice. For added depth, a handful of fresh herbs such as thyme or parsley can be chopped and set aside. To bring everything together, have a cup of cream or half and half ready, along with 2 large eggs. Finally, a handful of grated cheese, Gruyere, Swiss, or even sharp cheddar, will add a luscious melty top and a hint of sharpness. Begin with the pastry. In a large mixing bowl, combine the flour and salt. Add the cold butter, working it into the flour with your fingertips or a pastry cutter until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. Drizzle in the cold water, 1 tablespoon at a time, mixing gently until the dough just comes together. Form it into a disc, wrap it in plastic, and chill for at least 30 minutes. This rest allows the butter to firm up and the gluten to relax, ensuring a tender, flaky crust. While the dough chills, prepare the filling. In a large skillet over medium heat, add a splash of olive oil or a knob of butter. Once hot, sauté the onions until soft and translucent, about 5 minutes. Add the garlic, stirring until fragrant. Then, scatter the sliced mushrooms into the pan, seasoning with a pinch of salt and pepper. Cook, stirring occasionally, until the mushrooms release their moisture and begin to brown, about 8 to 10 minutes. If you're using a mix of mushrooms, the variety of textures and flavors will elevate the finished tart. With the mushrooms golden and tender, add the shredded chicken to the pan, stirring to combine and heat through. Sprinkle in the fresh herbs, reserving a little for garnish. Taste for seasoning, adding salt and pepper as needed. Remove the pan from the heat and allow the filling to cool slightly while you prepare the crust. Preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit or about 190 degrees Celsius. On a lightly floured surface, roll out the chilled dough to fit your tart pan, ideally one with a removable bottom for easy serving. Carefully drape the pastry over the pan, pressing it into the corners and trimming any excess. Prick the base gently with a fork to prevent bubbling, then line it with parchment paper and fill with pie weights or dried beans. Blind bake the crust for about 12 minutes, just until it begins to set and take on a hint of color. Remove the weights and parchment and return the crust to the oven for another 5 minutes. This step ensures your tart has a crisp, sturdy foundation that won't become soggy once the filling is added. While the crust bakes, whisk together the eggs and cream in a bowl. Stir in most of the grated cheese, reserving a bit for the top. Fold in the cooled chicken and mushroom mixture, ensuring everything is evenly coated. Once the crust is ready, spoon the filling into the shell, spreading it evenly. Sprinkle the remaining cheese over the top and, if you like, add a few extra sprigs of herbs for color. Return the tart to the oven, baking for 25 to 30 minutes, or until the filling is set and the top is golden and bubbling. The scent that fills your kitchen at this stage is a promise of the deliciousness to come, savory, buttery, and mouth-watering. Let the tart cool in the pan for 10 minutes before removing the sides and slicing. The rest time allows the filling to set, making for neat, perfect slices. Serve warm or at room temperature, perhaps with a simple green salad tossed in a tangy vinaigrette to cut through the richness. The beauty of a chicken mushroom tart lies in its adaptability. Swap out the chicken for turkey or ham if you prefer, or make it vegetarian by replacing the meat with sautéed spinach, leeks, or roasted vegetables. Play with the cheese and herbs to suit your taste. Try goat cheese and chives for a tangy twist, or smoked cheese for a deeper flavor. For those seeking to elevate the tart even further, consider adding a layer of caramelized onions or a spoonful of Dijon mustard brushed onto the crust before filling. These subtle touches add layers of complexity that will surprise and delight your guests. Beyond its versatility, this tart is a celebration of texture. The crisp, buttery crust gives way to a creamy, savory filling, punctuated by the tender chicken and meaty mushrooms. Each bite is a symphony of flavors and sensations, from the crunch of the pastry to the silkiness of the custard and the richness of the cheese. A chicken mushroom tart is more than just a meal. It's an invitation to slow down and savor. Serve it at a weekend brunch with friends, where laughter and conversation linger over the table. Pack a slice in your lunch for a midday treat that feels special. Or bring one to a potluck or picnic, where its golden crust and aromatic filling are sure to draw appreciative glances. But perhaps the greatest reward comes in the making. The tactile pleasure of working the dough, the sizzle of mushrooms in the pan, the transformation of simple ingredients into something greater than the sum of their parts. Cooking, after all, is as much about the journey as the destination. And when you finally sit down to enjoy your creation, let yourself appreciate each bite. Notice the way the mushroom's earthiness pairs with the savory chicken, how the herbs brighten the richness, and how the cheese adds a final note of indulgence. Pair your tart with a crisp white wine or sparkling cider, and celebrate the simple joy of good food, well made. In a world that moves ever faster, the act of preparing and sharing a homemade tart is a reminder of the pleasures of slowing down. It's a chance to nourish not only the body, but the soul, to create memories around the table, and to honor the timeless magic of cooking from scratch. So the next time you're looking for a dish that's both comforting and impressive, turn to the chicken mushroom tart. With every golden slice, you'll find warmth, flavor, and a touch of elegance, all wrapped up in a flaky, buttery embrace. And as your family and friends reach for seconds, you'll know that you've made something truly special, one delicious moment at a time.